Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream on the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. And today's live stream on the podcast, well, basically, it's a cricket quiz. The Dibbly Dobbly podcast cricket quiz, testing your cricket knowledge and having a bit of fun as well. So it's going to be a great stream, and it's going to be great to have people join us on this stream for this cricket quiz and answer some general knowledge questions based on the game of cricket. And basically, last year, we had the idea of doing a cricket quiz on the podcast due to time and all that stuff being busy. We weren't able to do it last year, but for this year, we are able to organize a quiz and do something around this. And here we are. So it is, as I said, a cricket quiz on the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. Basically, we're going to be doing these cricket quizzes every now and again. Just a bit of fun, something different, something new, just to test people's knowledge on the game of cricket, basically. And that's what it's all about. And also having a bit of fun, and also being able to test your knowledge on the game of cricket as well. So that's basically what the quiz is going to be, pretty much the quiz, and that's what it's going to be. So thank you everyone for joining us, and if you want to take part in the quiz, we will explain how the quiz works and all that stuff in just a moment, but we'll give an opportunity for people to make sure that they know that the quiz is happening, obviously on YouTube with these live streams, notifications and all that. So we'll give people some time to log on or make sure that they're tuned in, try and take part in this cricket quiz. So basically, the quiz, in terms of the format and in terms of how this quiz will work. Basically, we're using a program called Kahoot. Now, basically, Kahoot is a program that's used all around the world, basically, for learning purposes, for quizzes and all that stuff. So basically, we're using that program for this quiz. And obviously, you copy and paste the link, you type in a code, and you can join the quiz via that way. So that's pretty much how it will work. Basically, the quiz itself, 30 questions on general knowledge based on cricket. Some questions are easier than others. Others require you to think and give a bit of thought. So that's basically how this quiz will work. Sumit, hello, welcome. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us for this quiz, basically, on the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. Now, do bear with us. Obviously, it's the first time that we're doing this, so we are going to have some teething problems. We are going to have problems that we're going to try and work out tonight, but that's all part of the process. And once we establish a system that works, then we can do this as a smooth operation. So we will give people an opportunity to join and join the quiz and take part and have a bit of fun as well. 30 questions, that's all the quiz is, basically testing your knowledge on the game of cricket. So we'll get everything set up here, and we allow people to join, excuse me, the stream, but also the quiz itself. So we'll get that all set up for everyone to join. Very simple. I've explained how it all works, but I will go through it again for those who have just joined us. Sumit, you say, I love the Associate Nations interviews. You're doing very good work. Please keep it up. Well, thank you, Sumit. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, the Associate Cricket Series. Yes, it's been great fun chatting to many people from around the world in those associate nations, and it's been great chatting to those people, and they're doing some great work in promoting the game in their country. But thank you. Glad you were enjoying the series. Alrighty then. So we're about to allow people to join the quiz. We're just getting everything raring to go. And if you want to join the quiz and be a part of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast quiz for today, all you need to do, I should say, is go to Kahoot, kahoot.it, I should say. The link is in the chat. So go to that link, copy and paste that into your browser. And then once you've done that, then copy this code, which we will get up right now. Basically, copy and paste this code once you log on. So first of all, the important thing to do is go to kahoot.it. I can't stress that enough. That is the way that you will join the quiz today. So go to that, copy and paste that into your browser. That's the first step. You staff, thanks for joining us. You say, let me know when you get hungry. I can recommend you to a good place. This is going to be my joke forever. Well, thanks for joining us, you staff. And I know you're the champion on New World Cricket on there on Kahoot. So no doubt you will be certainly chomping at the bit, so to speak, to do well here. Okay. So the code. Now, once you've copied and pasted the link on Kahoot, then you have to type in this code. So the code that's on the screen right now is 166786. So that's basically the game pin, basically. So as I said before, go to kahoot.it in the chat. The link to that is in the chat. Click on that and then go to Kahoot. And once you have done that, type in the game pin number, which is on the screen right now and on the bottom of the screen. It's 166786. So we'll give some So join if you want to take part in the quiz. And we'll give some time for people to join and join us. And we'll just wait for people to join us. We can only have 10 people join us. That's the only thing with the quiz today. Only 10 people can join us. We already have 2. Sumit has joined. Someone named C has joined us. So we've got 2 people already. More the merrier. If you want to take part in the quiz, obviously I can't take part myself because I know all the answers. So that won't be the smartest thing to do, obviously. So we're just waiting for people to join us. Come and join us. Have a bit of fun. Test your knowledge on the game of cricket. 30 questions. We're going to have a great old time, that's for sure. So we'll just give a moment for people to join us. All you need to do, once again, is to go to kahoot.it. The link is in the chat. Copy and paste that into your browser. And then once you've done that, go into, type in the game pin number, which is 166786. So that's how you're going to join us for this quiz. Sumit says, I hope I get at least 2 right. Well, I think you'll get more than 2, Sumit. They're pretty obvious questions. Some require you to think more than others, but the difficulty ranges from easy to medium to hard. So don't be too hard on yourself. I'm sure you'll get a couple of answers or more correctly. But it's all about testing your knowledge, of course. So, we'll just wait for people to join us. We've only got 2 people that have joined us already. Come on, everyone. We need more than that. We need more than 2. Otherwise, it's just going to be a couple join us. So we'll give it some time. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. We can only have 10 players, though. So we already have 2. So we need another 8 if you want to join. So Ustaf says, will the options appear on the screen? Otherwise, I'll have to go and find another device. I think that will be all right, Ustaf. That's one of the problems that I did think about. As I said, this is the first time that we're doing this, so we are going to have some teething problems. Let's hope the answers will appear on the same screen. I think they will. I think after all the testing I did, I think it's working well. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see how that goes. Hello, Chirag. Thanks for joining us. Sorry if I got your name wrong there, but thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So we have 3 people that have joined us already. We need another. We can have up to 10 players. So we've already got 3 of the 10, so we can have another few more to join. All you need to do is go to kahoot.it. The link is in the chat. Copy and paste that, and then type in the PIN number for the game, which is 166786. So we already have 3. Come and join us. Going to have a great time testing your knowledge on the game of cricket. 30 questions. See if you can come out on top and be the champion of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast cricket quiz. That's not a bad ring. That's not a bad accolade or title to have next to your name. Champion of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast quiz. Come and join us, everyone. Come and join us. Have a good time. Hid Yanesh. I hope I got your name right. Sorry if I didn't. Thanks for joining us. You say, joining in a minute, looking for another device. That's all right. We'll give you plenty of time to join. There's no rush. We're going to give people an opportunity to join if you want to take part. We'll give some time for those who want to join us from all parts of the world. So we can have up to 10 players. We already have 3. So we can have more. Sorry, we can only have 10. So we already have 3. We can have another 7 join us for this quiz today. And if you aren't able to join us, you can take part at home as well. You can Ryoma, thanks for joining us. You say, where are you from? Like your nationality? I'm from Australia. That's where I'm from, Australia. I hope that's answered your question. Sumit says, will you do round 2 or is it just 1 round? It's just one round, Sumit. We're going to do 1 round of the quiz tonight. It's only 30 questions, only 1 round tonight. But the more we do them, maybe we'll have some multiple rounds in that. We'll have to wait and see. But just to start off with, just the 1 and see how that works. And then we can go from there. As I said, it's all about just a learning process today. It's about just trying to work out what's the best system for us. So we've got 4 players who have joined us. We can have another 6 join us today. We can only have 10, so another 6 players can join us still. make sure you can join us for this quiz. It's going to be some good fun. Join us. Test your knowledge. See how good you are. And you'll learn some new facts as well. Plenty of new things you can learn within the game of cricket. So definitely, you will definitely experience that in the quiz today. Whoa, we have a lot of people joining us already. Okay, so we have 7. We can have 3 more. We have 7 players already. Thanks everyone for joining. So we can have 3 more players join us, everyone. So if you want to join, you better get in quick. Otherwise, it's going to cut off at 10. So we have 7 who have joined us. So the people who've joined us already, we have Ustaf, the GOAT, obviously, Eddie Betts, Offside Talks, Ryoma, Ashit, Sumit, and C are the players who have joined us. Going to take part in this quiz. So we can have another 3 players join us. So we've got 7. We can only have 10. Unfortunately, that's just the version of Kahoot that we are using. We can only have 10 for this certain version. So if you want to join, all you need to do is copy and paste kahoot.it into your browser, follow the prompts, then type in the code of the game, which is 166786, so you don't miss out on the quiz. 30 questions, just testing your general knowledge on the game of cricket. All of these questions I have written myself. They're, as I said earlier, these questions, some are easy, some are difficult, some require you to think, which is the important thing. So we'll just wait for a little bit longer. We only got 7 players. We can have another 3 join us. 10 players can join. We already have 7 of 10, so we can have 3 more join us. If you want to be a part of the quiz, make sure you get in, and if you want to join us, Yusuf says, let's start before people start to leave. We'll give it a little bit. We want to make sure if people want to have the opportunity to join, they can. We'll give it another few minutes if you want to join us. We have 7 players. We can have up to 10. All right, as we wait for some other people to join us if they want to. Now, basically, if you haven't played Kahoot before, basically it's very easy and simple. Basically, if you answer correctly, you get points. You answer quickly and correctly, you get points as well. So that's basically as simple as it can be. All right, so we've had another one join us, 8 already. We can have another 2. Another 2 players can join us. If you can't join us, then you can be in the chat and you can play along without playing. Shannon says, I'm in. Okay, so we've got 7 players. All right. Offside Talk says, let's start coming for that title. Yes, well, let's see if you can win today, Offside. All right. Okay, I think we're raring to go, everyone. So, okay, final warning. We've got 8 players. Anyone else want to join before we start? So we're going to give everyone a last warning. Yusuf says, we always knew cricket is a game run by the Aussies. Well, they've been pretty dominant for many years. All right. Okay. So All right, we're gonna lock it. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have 8 players joining us. Okay, so if you missed out, that's all right. You can watch along with the stream, and you can test your knowledge as we go along. Okay, so we've got 8 players joining today. Let's see who will be victorious. 30 questions to start this quiz, and it is pretty much general knowledge to test your knowledge on the game of cricket. All right. Okay, let's start with question 1, and let's get this underway. Good luck to everyone, and let's see who can come out on top. All right. Question 1. For those playing at home. All right, here we go. Question 1. What year did the first ever test match took place between Australia and England? Was it 1877, 1880, 1890, or 1882? Get your answers in quickly. Time's going to run out. We only had 6 who answered, and the answer was 1877. So 2 people got that correct. 2 people went with 1880, 1 went with 1882, and then a couple of people didn't put an answer in. Yes, it was 1877, and it was Australia and England, of course, at the MCG. Australia won by 45 runs for the first ever test match that took place. So congratulations to those who got it right. Yusuf says, oh, sorry, can't see the options. Oh, really? Well, okay. Well, I did say we're going to have some teething problems. Thank you for that. Right, I thought that was able to share it there. Hang on. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Okay, I hope that's all right now. Okay, so we've fixed that problem. Thank you, everyone, for telling me that. Okay, right, okay. What we're going to do, everyone, is that seeing that people didn't have the options there, we're going to start again. Just so we can make it fair for those people who didn't put an answer in. So I'm going to start again. Bear with us. As I said, we're going to have some teething problems. So we're going to start again, just because we can do that and make it fair for everyone who didn't lodge an answer. So sorry about that. I didn't turn that setting on before I started. It should be able to work now. Okay, so we're going to start again, everyone. So we're going to start again. Bear with us. As I said, we're going to have some teething problems. So bear with us as we're going to start again. So we'll quickly start again, and hopefully it will work this time. So I forgot to turn that option on. So we're going to start again. Hopefully you can see the options, everyone. Sorry about that. Okay, let's start again. Okay, so right. Okay, bear with us, everyone. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Now, hopefully that will work this time. Okay, so we're going to start again, just to make it fair for those who didn't answer with the options there. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn that on, but thank you for telling me that. Okay, right. Okay, so anyone else wants to join before we start this second restart? Anyone else want to join? It's your last chance before we start again. If you want to join again. So we do have 5 people that have joined for this second game. Anyone else joining us for this second restart? You can join if you want. I'll pop the pin back up again for those who want to join. There you go. So the pin number 166786 for those who need to rejoin us. So it's the same code as it was before. So we'll give those people who haven't joined an opportunity to join again if they dropped out for certain reasons. Garav says, I have joined late. What is the quiz? Basically, the quiz is just general knowledge on cricket, really. 30 questions on general knowledge, Garav. Just to test your cricket knowledge, really. That's what the quiz is about. So go to kahoot.it, copy and paste that in the link, and put the code in, which is 166786, so you can take part in the quiz, so you don't miss out. So we had a few teething problems before, but I think everything's sorted now. So, okay, so I'm going to give a bit of a warning to everyone, last minute warning for those who haven't joined. It's your opportunity to join if you want to join now. If not, then we'll start again, and hopefully this time we'll run smoothly. But as I said, bear with us. We have some teething problems. It's a new format, so bear with us with that. Okay. Is everyone ready? Everyone raring to go before we start again? Okay, let's do it. Let's start. Okay. So here we go. Take number 2. Let's hope this time it will run smoothly. Okay. Right. All right. So we're all ready to go. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's start again, everyone. Good luck to everyone. Okay, cricket general knowledge. First question. Everyone knows what the answer is already. Okay. What year did the first ever test match took place between Australia and England? Was it 1877, 1880, 1890, or 1882? Everyone knows what the answer was. It was 1877. And everyone's correct. So everyone gets points for that correct answer. Yes, it was 1877 at the MCG, Australia and England. Australia won by 45 runs in the end. So let's have a look at the leaderboard. And Offside Talks is in pole position. Not far behind is Ryoma with 955. And Asset with 950. So early days. Let's see how those will go as the quiz goes on. Question 2, what year did Sir Donald Bradman make his test debut? Was it 1930, 1935, 1920, or 1928? Sir Donald Bradman. Let's see what the answer is. The answer is 1928. 1928, it was against England in the Ashes test at the exhibition ground, which was in Brisbane. The rest is pretty much history, really. He scored 18-1 in that first test and then got dropped. Came back for the third test of the series and scored 79 and 112, and the rest was history. So it was 1928 that he debuted, Sir Don Bradman. 2 got that answer correctly, 2 of them. So let's see the leaderboard.
Offside Talks, well in front, 1,898 points. Ryoma in second place, 1,501. And then there's a bit of a gap to the others on the points table. So the Offside Talks has got the pole position. Can he be overtaken? Well, still early days. It's only question 3. Here we go. How many teams participated in the first ever Men's World Cup, Cricket World Cup in 1975? Was it 5, 8, 10, or 4? Make sure you answer correctly and fast. The more points you will get if you do that. The answer is 8. And everyone got that one right except for one. Yes, it was 8. In 1975, the 8 teams were Australia, East Africa, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, the West Indies, were the 8 teams that participated in the World Cup in 1975. And let's see who has made some moves on the leaderboard. Offside Talks still in pole position, 2,748 points. Ryoma, 2,029 points. And some movers on the points table making their march towards the top. So it's anyone's game at the moment, but Offside Talks, can he be overthrown? And can someone take his position at the top? Well, we'll have to wait and see. All right, question 4 of 30. How many batters have scored a triple century in test matches for Australia? Is it 4? Is it 3? Is it 2? Or is it 7? So how many have scored a triple century in test cricket for Australia? How many batters? There's 7 of them. Sorry, is it 4, 3, 2, or 7? The options. The answer is 7, and no one got that one right. Everyone went with 3 and 2. Well, the answer is 7. Obviously, Don Bradman did it twice. Bob Cowper, Bob Simpson, Mark Taylor, Matthew Hayden, Michael Clark, and David Warner was the latest one. So it was 7 Australian batters that have scored a test century for Australia. Offside Talk says, oh, I got that one wrong. Yeah, well, no one answered that one correctly. It is 7. So let's see how the leaderboard has changed after that. Obviously, not much. It'll be the same. So the leaderboard's still the same after 4 questions in. Offside Talks still in first place. So it's a very close battle between Offside Talks and Ryoma. Ashit, Sumit, and Yustav making their march towards the podium. Here we go. Question 5. Which team has the highest ever team total in Test cricket? Is it India, Australia, England, or Sri Lanka? Now, this one's a pretty obvious one if you know your stats. Highest ever team total. The answer is Sri Lanka. Yes, Sri Lanka. They scored 6 for 952 declared against India in 1997 in Colombo. Sanaf Jayasuriya scored a triple century, scored 340, and the match was a draw, obviously. So it was Sri Lanka. They've got the record for the highest team total in Test cricket. So let's see. Oh, bit of a change in the points table there. Offside Talks extends his lead. He's now out to 3,713. Ashit has gone into second, 2,811. Ustaf, 2,636. Ryoma's dropped back down into 4th position. And Sumit is in 5th with 1,802. All right. So 5 questions in. Still early days. And for those who are struggling on the points table, you can come back and you can claw back some points. It's not over yet. Question 6. Who hosted the men's 2007 Cricket World Cup? Was it India, England, West Indies, or Australia? Pretty obvious one, this one. I don't think anyone will struggle to answer this one correctly.
The answer is the West Indies, of course. Yep, 2007, they hosted the World Cup. And obviously hosting the T20 World Cup in 2024 with the USA. So it was the West Indies. That one, everyone got that one right except for one. Let's see how the scoreboard is. And Offside Talks extends his lead further. He's out to 4,619 points. So pretty much the same as it was after the last question in terms of the points table. But still early days. Question 7 of 30. Which team has the lowest ever team total in Test cricket? Is it India, England, New Zealand, or Australia? Which team has the lowest ever team total in Test cricket history? The answer is New Zealand. New Zealand has the record. They were bowled out for 26 against England, which was back in 1955, and that was in Auckland. They got bowled out for 26 in 27 overs. So not a record that any team wants, which is the lowest ever Test total in Test cricket. But it's New Zealand with that record. 2 people got that right. So let's see who those 2 people were. It was Ryoma and Gaurav who got those answers correctly. No one else got it right. But Offside Talks still in the lead. 4,619. Ashit in second. Ryoma climbs into third. Ustaf goes back down the table. And Gaurav is in 5th place. And Offside Talks says, I opted for the team who got them bowled out for 26. Yes, England. Yes. Well, it wasn't England. It was New Zealand who had the record. So question 8 of 30. Still plenty of time for those to make a comeback. Here we go. Question 8. In what year did Bodyline take place? The infamous Bodyline series. Was it 1932, 1930, 1935, or 1940? Get your answers in quickly and correctly if you want to get those points. The answer is 1932, of course. 1932 was the answer. And 3 people answered that correctly. So well done to those who answered that correctly and got some points. Let's see if that makes any difference to the points table. It does. Ashit overtakes Offside, I should say. And he's into the lead. It's a battle. It's a 3-way battle at the moment. It's pretty much heating up at the top of the table. Ashit, 4,652, climbs into first place. Offside Talks, 4,619. Ustaf, 4,458. Ryoma, 4,209. And Gaurav, 3,463 in 5th place. So it's definitely heating up between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd and 4th. Anyone's game at the moment after 8 questions in to this quiz. So it's definitely heating up, that's for sure. So definitely a very tight contest indeed. As we get into the 9th question of the quiz, as I try and bring the comments back here, Offside Talk says, going with the guess there. Yes, if you don't know, put in the guess. And you never know, you may get it right or correct. So question 9 of 30. Here we go. I think everyone should know this. What year did India play their first ever Test match? Was it 1920, 1930, 1932, or 1940? What year did India play their first ever Test match in Test cricket? Let's see who got it correctly. It is 1932, of course. 1932, they played against England. It was a one-off test at Lord's, and England won by 158 runs in that test match. So 4 people got that right. Let's see if that makes any difference to the scoreboard. It does.
Ashet extends his lead. He's out to 5,597. And Ryoma overtakes Offside Talks. He goes into second place with 4,899. Offside Talks in third place, 4,619. Yusuf with 4,458. So it's definitely a very tight battle for the podium at the moment after 9 questions in. Definitely a very tight battle indeed as we get further and further into this quiz. It's definitely heating up. Yusuf says, waiting for the quiz to enter the 21st century. Well, I did say, Yusuf, it is cricket general knowledge. It's based on all different eras of cricket. So, but you may get your wish for the second question, Yusuf, because we are definitely going into the 21st century. How many test centuries did Ricky Ponting score in tests? Was it 40, 41, 35, or 37? Ricky Ponting, one of the very fine batters to play the game, and certainly for Australia. How many test centuries did he score in his career? All right, let's see. The answer is 41. He scored 41 test centuries. That's a lot of test centuries for Ricky Ponting. 41 he scored in his test career. Let's see on the scoreboard. Ashet extends his lead further. 6,472. Ryoma in second place, 5,601. And then Offside Talks, Yusuf in a battle for third place there. And Sumit is bottom of the table at the moment in the top 5. He's on 3,589. Ryoma, well done. You've answered 5 questions correctly. You're on a bit of a roll. Yusuf, no worries. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you back soon. Offside Talk says time pressure got me there. Time was up. Yes, we got to try and answer correctly if you can. That's the whole idea of it. If you don't know what the answer is, try and guess. 11. Question 11. Don Bradman played games of cricket in America and Canada. True or false? Is it true? Is it false that Don Bradman played games of cricket in America and Canada? Let's see who got it correct. You answered correctly. The answer is true. He did. The answer to that question is true. It was back in 1932. He played games of cricket in America and Canada with an Australian team. And he went to Yankee Stadium and met Babe Ruth. He was one of the legends of baseball there in America. So that one was true. So it's a very tight battle at the moment between Ashet and Ryoma. 6,472 for Ashet and Ryoma, 6,384. So it's a battle for first place there, heating up. For third place, Offside Talks, 4,619. Sumit, 4,548. So there's a battle for third place there. So the table definitely heating up. Question 12. Who hit the winning runs to secure Australia the 6th World Cup title against India in 2023? Was it Mitchell Marsh, Travis Head, Marnus Labuschagne, or Glenn Maxwell? So who hit the winning runs in the World Cup final for Australia? I think everyone should get this one correct if they watch the final. The answer is Glenn Maxwell. Yep, it was Glenn Maxwell. He hit the winning runs to get Australia the victory in the World Cup final. Travis Head got out just before the winning runs were needed. So it was Glenn Maxwell. The big show. Glenn Maxwell hit the winning runs. Jihan says Maxwell. Yes, indeed it was Jihan. It was Glenn Maxwell. All right. So the leaderboard definitely heating up on the leaderboard at the moment. Asset still in the lead, 6,472. Ryoma, 6,384. So there's still a battle for the first place there. And then it's a battle for third place after that. So make sure you answer correctly and quickly on Kahoot. Otherwise, you're going to make sure that you answer correct and correctly. For those who want to join, I know it's halfway through the quiz, but if you want to join, you can. I've opened that up. If you want to join the quiz, the code of the game is on the bottom of the screen. So all you need to do is go to kahoot.it, copy and paste that into your browser, and then copy the code of the game, which is 166786. So I will open that up for people to join as we're progressing through the quiz, if you want to be a part of it. So question 13, which team has the most ever test wins in test cricket history? Is it England, Australia, India, or South Africa? I think this one will be fairly obvious for people to get. The answer is Australia, of course. Australia. Yep, the answer is Australia. Australia have 414 victories in Test cricket. England have 392. India and South Africa have 178 wins between them. So the answer is Australia, obviously. So well done to those who got that correctly. Now let's see if that makes a difference on the scoreboard. Let's have a look. It does. It does. Ryoma is now in the lead. 7,326. Asset, 7,216. Definitely a very interesting battle for first place happening at the moment. And then it's a battle for third place. Woohoo. Definitely heating up. This is going to get interesting as we get further and further into the quiz. We're only 13 questions in. We're into question 14. And this is still wide open for first and second and third place as well. Jihan says, surprised England have so many. Yeah, Jihan, they do. 392 wins is still a lot. 414 for Australia. So that's a lot of test victories, that's for sure. All right. Here we go. Question 15. Of 30. Question 14. True or false? The Australian team that toured England in 1948, they were known as the Invincibles, didn't lose a single game on the entire tour. True or false? I think everyone should get this one right. They were the greatest team to ever play for Australia, that's for sure, led by Don Bradman. True or false? They didn't lose a single game on the tour. The answer is true. They didn't. They didn't lose any games on the tour. Their win-loss record was pretty good. They played 34 matches across the Test series, which was the Ashes. They played first-class matches, 35 of them. They won 25 and drawn 9. Didn't lose a single game. That's an incredible record that's never going to be beaten, you would think. And with that, Asset goes back to first place, 8,155. Ryoma goes back to second. Sumit has a bit of a gap between him and Gurrar for third place, and Offside Talks is in fifth on the table as I see it. Definitely things are changing up as we get deeper and deeper into this quiz. The questions will become a little bit more difficult. You have to use your brain and knowledge, try and think these questions out, but you've only got 20 seconds to answer them. Question 15, who was the leading run scorer during the 2015 Men's Cricket World Cup? Was it Steve Smith, Martin Guptill, Sangakkara, or de Villiers? All of them had pretty good World Cups in 2015, mind you. So who was it? The answer is Martin Guptill. And 4 people got that right. It was Martin Guptill. He scored 547, obviously scored that double century, of course. Steve Smith scored 402. Kumar Sangakkara scored those runs, 541 of them. And A.B. de Villiers scored 482. But all of those players had pretty good World Cups, respectively. But the answer was Martin Guptill. So well done to those who got that correct. And let's see. Asset extends the lead. 9,111 points. So there's a bit of a gap between him and Ryoma for first and second. And then third place, a bit of a gap for Sumit. And compared to the other people trying to get into third place. So can anyone get back on top of the table? Jihan says, I think their nicknames give away the answer to this one. Jihan says, I remember before the 2005 Ashes, one of your Invincibles, one of the Invincibles said Australia have a chance to beat out an unbeaten tour record. Well, that went well. Yes, well, it's very hard to do, really. It's probably never going to happen again because tours are very different now. As they were back then, it was very different. You could play a lot of games. Question 16. In what year did the Adelaide Oval host its first ever test match? Was it 1890, 1900, 1884, or 1905? Now, if you know the history of the Adelaide Oval, which we did do an episode on the Adelaide Oval and its history, you should know this answer if you watched it. It's one of the most iconic grounds in world cricket, that's for sure. The answer is 1884. 1884 was the first test at the Adelaide Oval. It was obviously Australia and England. Australia won that game. And I think they did. Yes, I think Australia won that test in 1884 at the Adelaide Oval. But yes, the Adelaide Oval. 1884 was its first ever test match that it held. So Ryoma closes the gap. Asset did not get that answer correct. He still stays on 9,111. Ryoma got that one right, closes the gap down. He's on 9,073. And there's a bit of a gap between Sumit and the rest for third place. He's on 8,164. So Ryoma, you're on fire, literally. You've answered 4 questions correctly, so well done. Getting those vital points, making your charge towards the top. Can anyone overthrow Asset? He's being tested by Ryoma at the moment. Here we go. Question 17. Which venue has hosted the most ever test matches? Is it the SCG, Lords, the MCG, or the Oval? There are 4 of these cricket grounds are the oldest cricket grounds in the world, by the way, so that should give you a bit of a clue. So it's the SCG, Lords, the MCG, or the Oval. The answer is Lords, of course. And well done to those who got that right, 5 of them. Yes, so Lords has hosted 145 test matches. The MCG's hosted 116. The SCG's hosted 112. And the Oval, which is in England, has hosted 106 test matches, which is quite a lot of test matches over the years. But yes, the answer is Lords, and 5 people got that one right. Gian says, I have to go. But this looks really fun. Good luck, everyone. Thank you, Jihan, for joining us. And always good to have you on the stream to join us from time to time. So the scoreboard. Asset has broken the 10,000 points barrier. So he's got a good margin there, 10,049 points. Ryoma, 9,793. Sumit, 9,121. And then Gaurav in 4th place with 7,100. So there is a few gaps developing there, which is what we're starting to see as the questions get more harder and harder. Question 18 of 30. What year did the first ODI take place? Was it 1970, 71, 1965, or 1960? So what year did the first ODI take place? It was 1971. 1971 was the first the first ODI that took place in the history of the game. And that was between Australia and England at the MCG, and Australia won that first game. So Asset extends his lead 10,964 to Ryoma's 10,504. Cement has opened a big gap between him and the rest for third place, 9,951. And well done, Cement. You've answered 6 questions correctly. Well done. Got to make sure you get those answers correct and fast. Question 19, who am I? I've played 166 test matches and scored 13,289 runs with 45 hundreds. Is it Rahul Dravid, Jacques Kallis, Brian Lara, or Ricky Ponting? So who am I? If you know stats, you will know this answer. So who am I? The answer is Jacques Kallis, of course. It's Kallis. Jacques Kallis, a very fine all-rounder from South Africa. And the answer is him, of course. He's the one with those numbers and stats. So Asset still in the lead. 11,787. Ryoma is still in second place, 11,342. Cement is 10,613. So definitely first, second, and third starting to establish some gaps here and there. So we've got 10 questions remaining after this, 20 of 30. There's still time for people to make a charge on the leaderboard if they can. All right, here we go. Question 20. How many teams play the Sheffield Shield? Is it 8, 7, 6, or 5? So how many teams play the Sheffield Shield, which is in Australia? The answer is 6. Yep, 6 teams play the Sheffield Shield, and they're all the states in Australia. So 6. Well done to those who've answered that correctly. And, Ryoma and Asset still with that battle between first and second. Asset, 12,739. Ryoma, 12,062. So the gap's opening up. There's time to make a comeback if you can. We're getting towards the end here. Sam Ridhard says, nice guess. Yes, well, you got to get those correct guesses or answers. Put an answer down. If you don't know, try and guess, and then you may get lucky with some points. But there is a big gap opening up between Asset and Ryoma for first and second. Here we go. Question 21. Who scored the first ever triple century in Test cricket? Is it Sir Don Bradman, Andy Sandham, Wally Hammond, Sir Garfield Sobers? So who scored the first ever triple century in Test cricket? All of them have scored a triple century, but who was the first? The answer is Andy Sandham. And one person got that correct. Yes, it was Andy Sandham. He scored the first triple century in Test cricket. He scored that triple century in 1930 against the West Indies. Don Bradman followed after that. He was the second in the same year, 1930 as well. Scored 334 against England. Wally Hammond, he scored the third triple century. That was against New Zealand when he scored the 336 not out in 1933. And then Sir Garfield Sobers, he was the 7th batter in Test cricket history to score a triple century. And funny enough, it was Sir Garfield Sobers' first ever century he scored in Test cricket, and that was against Pakistan when he scored the 365 not out in 1958. So who got that correct? It was Gaurav who got that correct. He was the only one who got that right. Moves into 4th place. Everyone else stays the same. As we approach question 22, 8 questions out of 30. So 22 out of 30, 8 questions left. And here's question number 22. In what year did Sir Garfield Sobers hit 6 sixes? Was it 1960, 1965, 1968, or 1970? So in what year did Sir Garfield Sobers hit the 6 sixes? The answer is 1968. So the answer to that was 1968. He hit 6 sixes in a county game in England, Sir Garfield Sobers. It was Nottinghamshire versus Glamorgan at Swansea, and he hit poor old Malcolm Nash for 6 sixes in an over, which is the first time it was ever done in any form of cricket. It's been done since after that, but 1968 was when he did it. So Asset got that one right, extends his lead out, 13,636. Ryoma, 12,844. Sumit, 10,613. That's first, second, and third. And a bit of a gap between the top 3 and the rest of the list. Okay, question 23. I think everyone would get this one correct. Well, everyone should. How many test matches has Sachin Tendulkar played? Is that 140, 170, 150, or 200? This one should be an obvious one for those to answer correctly. The answer is, of course, 200. Sachin Tendulkar played 200 test matches in his career. That's a lot of test matches. 200 he played in his career, which lasted many, many years. So Asset still in front, 14,586. Ryoma, 13,802. Sumit, a bit of a gap between him and the rest for third place, 11,562. So question 24. 6 questions left. In what year did the ICC form up? Was it 1880, 1890, 1909, or 1905? So in what year did the ICC form up? The answer is 1909. 1909 is when the ICC was formed, and 3 people got that one right. And Ryoma closes the gap. It's only 5 points that separates him and Asset. Asset, 14,586. Ryoma, 14,581. It's a 5-point deficit. It's really heating up. It's also heating up for third place as well. Sumit, 11,562 to Gaurav's 11,432. So it's definitely heating up as we get closer and closer towards the end of the quiz. But still on for first place. It's still anyone's game. Question 25, true or false? The USA and Canada played the first ever international game of cricket. Is that true or false? Obviously, the US has hosted cricket and played cricket for many years. The answer is true. They have. And the USA and Canada played for the first time in 1844. So everyone got that one right. So here we go. Oh, Asset extends his lead, 15,557 to Ryoma's 15,548. And also a bit of a battle for third place as well. Sumit, 12,534 and Gaurav, 12,347. Still anyone's game. Anyone can finish in first, second, and third. Still anyone's game with 4 questions left. Question 26. Who has played the most test matches for Australia? Is it Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh, Steve Smith, Shane Warne, or Glenn McGrath? So who's played the most ever test matches for Australia? The answer is, of course, Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh. And 4 people got that one right. One of them answered Glenn McGrath. That's not correct, unfortunately. Yes, Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh, 168. Steve Smith, 109. Shane Warne, 145. And Glenn McGrath, 124. So the answer to that, Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh have played the most ever test matches for Australia, 168. And Ashit extends his lead, 16,495 to Ryoma's 16,471. And Gaurav has answered 7 questions correctly. And he's still in third place with 13,211. So, with 3 questions left, it's anyone's game for first and second. Definitely a good battle developing there. Here we go. Question 27. What year did New Zealand win their first ever test match? Was it 1935, 1930, 1950, or 1956? So what year did New Zealand win their first ever test match? It took them a while to win their first ever test match. Bit of a clue there. The answer is 1956. 1956, they won their first ever test, New Zealand. It was against the West Indies, and it took them 26 years to win that first ever test because New Zealand, they started playing test cricket in 1930. Took them until 1956, which is a gap of 26 years to win their first ever test. And they were able to do that against the West Indies in 1956 in Auckland. So Asset extends his lead, 17,436, Ryoma 16,471, and Gaurav extends his lead into third place with 14,064 points. He's answered 8 questions correctly. As we get closer and closer to the end of the quiz, only 2 more questions to go after this. Question 28. For a bowler to obtain a hat trick, how many wickets must fall consecutively for a hat trick to happen? Is it 4, 2, 3, or 5? And the answer is, of course, 3. Everyone got that one right. Well done to everyone. And let's see what that has done to the leaderboard, the scoreboard. Asif has extended his lead even further, 18,378. Ryoma, 17,429. And Gaurav, 15,007. And Gaurav has answered 9 correctly. So he's on a bit of a hot streak. So with only 1 question remaining after this, pretty much we know who's going to finish in first, second, or third place. But you never know. Anything could happen. Question 29. Who am I? I've taken 431 wickets with 36 5-wicket hauls and debuted in Test cricket in 1973. Is it Richard Hadley, Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, or Andy Roberts? Who am I? The answer is Richard Hadley, of course. Richard Hadley, the first ever bowler to take 400 Test wickets in Test cricket. It was, of course, Richard Hadley. 3 people got that one right. Let's see on the scoreboard. Asset did get that one right. Extends his lead, 19,247. Ryoma still in third place with 18,306. And Gaurav still in third place with 15,007. Asset has answered 5 questions in a row correctly. Well done. 1 question remaining. Well, he's pretty much secured the championship. Here we go. The last question, 30 out of 30. How many players have played Test cricket for Australia? Is it 600, 466, 500, or 550? How many players have played Test cricket for Australia? This one to end the quiz. Our first ever quiz on the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. The answer is 466. 3 people got that one right. Yes, it's 466. Matt Kuhneman was the latest player to debut for Australia, and that was against India in Delhi last year. He was the 466th Test player to play Test cricket for Australia. So, the podium at the end of the quiz. In third place was Sumit. In second place was Ryoma. And in first place is Asit with 19,247. Congratulations, Asit. And in fourth place was Gurav. In fifth place was, I think it was, who was it? Let's have a look here. Can't get that. Let's have a look, see who did what. So pretty much the podium as it was for the quiz. It was Sumit, third place, Ryoma, and obviously Asit was in first place. He was our champion. Well done, Asit. Congratulations. You have the honor of being the first ever winner of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast quiz. Well done. Congratulations. And well done. Hopefully you can come back and defend your title when we do the quiz again. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope everyone had some good fun. And I think everyone had some fun, which was great. Comment Sumit says, battle was intense for third spot. It was a good effort, Gurav. And Samarid, yes, it was. Ryoma says, I got the New Zealand first ever test win wrong. I thought it was their first test. No, it was their first test victory. That wasn't their first test match that they played. That was back in 1930. Asit says, thank you. No worries, Asit. Well done. Congratulations. You are the champion, my friend. Well done. And you are the champion of the Dibbly Dobbly podcast cricket quiz. Well done. And hopefully you can defend your title when we do another quiz in the near future. And Samarid says, nice quiz. Many things I got to know today. Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it's learning something new, isn't it? And that's what the quiz is about, really. General knowledge and learning something new. So I'm glad that you learned something new today as well. Good fun. And definitely, we all had some fun, that's for sure, for the quiz today. In terms of the next quiz, well, we are going to do some quizzes in the near future. So stay tuned for that. As Ryoma says, it was fun, just lost by 200 margin or so. Yes, no, in the end, it was a very tight finish towards the end, that's for sure. And then it got away in the end there. But second place was good. Sumit says, yeah, it was fun. I got more than 12 right, so I'm happy. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Definitely a testing quiz, that's for sure. And a lot of people, as we have a look at the stats, yes, there were 21 questions that people found difficult during the quiz. But that's what it's all about. It's all about testing yourself and making sure that you learn something new about cricket, really. So I'm glad that everyone enjoyed it. Sorry about the few teething problems that we had at the start, obviously. But as I said, it's a new format, so we're trying to work out different things and how it would all work. But I thought it went pretty well. And I'm so glad that everyone had a good time and learned something new, which is fantastic. So thank you, everyone, for taking part in the first ever Dibbly Dobbly podcast cricket quiz. I'm glad that everyone had a good time and learned something new about the game of cricket as well. Congratulations to Asit, who was the champion today. Clearly the champion in the end. And congratulations to the others who participated as well. Good to see everyone having a good go and just having a go and seeing what they can
can do, really. So fantastic. In terms of the quiz going forward, stay tuned for other quizzes that we may be doing in the near future. There are plenty of quizzes that we will do for the podcast. Also, make sure that you check us out on Patreon. We're on Patreon. So make sure you go to Patreon if you want to become a Patreon member for the Dibbly Dobbly podcast. If you want to become a Dibbly Dobbler, which is our Patreon membership, all you need to do is go to the Dibbly Dobbly podcast Patreon, which is in the description. The link to that is in the description of this episode or live stream. If you want to support us on Patreon, make sure you do. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, and the podcast is available on Anchor, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you check us out on all of those platforms. Ryoma says, can you do a podcast with China and South Korea cricket players? Just want to know how much development is happening there in their cricket. We'll see what we can do, Ryoma. We'll see what we can do. I can't promise anything, but we can definitely see what we can do in regards to that. We'll see what we can do. But thank you for your question there, and thank you everyone for taking part in the Dibbly Dobbly podcast quiz. Once again, thank you everyone for taking part. Hopefully, we can make this a regular thing on the podcast where we can just come together, talk about cricket, have a bit of fun, test your knowledge as well on the game, and have a bit of fun as well. So I'm glad that everyone had that today in terms of the fun factor, but also learned something new, which is fantastic. So I'm glad that everyone had a good time today. Thanks everyone for watching and taking part in the quiz today. Stay tuned for more episodes of the podcast, which will be coming out very shortly. I hope everyone has a good day wherever you may be around the world. A very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you back again. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.